What's going on, guys? Um, I just needed to go live um, because this one hits so much differently. If you remember a few months ago, I was giving you guys daily updates on coronavirus and the numbers in Georgia, and we saw the numbers just continue to spike and continue to go up, and we didn't know what numbers to trust. But today it hits just a whole lot differently. I know a lot of people that have been infected by the coronavirus, COVID-19, and I've suffered some losses not this close. But today, I mean, to hear Judge Johnson pass this morning, um, it hits a lot differently because not only was he my friend, he was a mentor, he was a brother. He's one of the reasons why I'm an attorney. And we just we gotta do this thing differently. I mean, the leadership in the state needs to realize that these are real people and they have real families and they have real friends. And to lose a giant of the legal community like Judge Johnson, it just hits differently. And so when I got the alert on my phone and I started getting the text messages, um, it's difficult. And I just want to be transparent with you guys just a little bit, simply because of the great man that we lost. Um, I can remember being a freshman at Oxford and him coming to campus as an attorney and talking to us about the profession and mentoring so many of us. And then to matriculate to Emory and see the things that he was doing for the students there and the alums, and then to pass the bar and for him to take so many lawyers under his wing and teach us the ropes. And then he became a Superior Court judge, and he was one of the fairest jurists on the bench. But he was more than that. He was a friend. He was a frat brother. He was he was a history maker in Newton County. And for this virus to take a great man like that, it just hits different. And so, um, as humbly as I know how, I'm asking you guys to take this thing serious. You know, I was given the updates, and I was trying to get the information out there as best I could. And then when I realized the numbers just didn't make sense, I stopped giving the updates. And we had to focus on the other pandemic, which is police involved violence against African Americans. But to get the message this morning while I'm in Zoom court, doing my profession that he helped, me to choose. It just hits different, guys. It hits different, and we gotta be different. I mean, regardless of what the man in the White House says, regardless of what the governor says, this virus is killing people. And we as the people have to hold our powerful accountable. We need the accurate numbers. We need to know where this virus is. We need to know how to protect ourselves. We need to wear these masks. We need to wear these masks. It's not a political statement. It's not a political choice at this point. We are losing just luminaries. And it's not a game anymore. I mean, it never was a game, but it just really is not. And so to think about his wife and his kids, um, and to think about the judicial system, because we are in a judicial emergency. So my question is, under Judge Melton's order, why are certain courts still having in-person hearings? This virus has gone nowhere. It's still here, and it's rising in Georgia. It's rising across the South. And it's time for us, as the third branch of government, to make sure we protect not only the people, but the individuals that are charged with dispensing justice. Because Judge Johnson wasn't the only one that was affected by the virus in that judicial circuit. And so my question is, we can do this on Zoom hearings. We can do this virtually. We don't need to risk people's lives because this is hitting too close to home. We know that there are certain categories of individuals who are most likely to be affected, but we are seeing individuals die of all ages. And these numbers continue to rise. So it's time for us, whether you're a Democrat or you're a Republican, to hold people accountable, to tell the people the truth. This is not about China anymore. This is about what's happening in the United States of America. It's about what's happening in the state of Georgia and how we're going to deal with this. Why are we not having briefings every single day anymore so we can know where this virus is, how testing is going, where the most affected areas are? It didn't go away. It didn't just magically disappear. It's still here. And for a legend of the judicial system to pass away after testing positive only 24 hours earlier, that hits too close to home. I mean, there's several individuals I directly credit with helping me to get to where I am, and he's one of them. And it shouldn't have to hit this close for folks to take stock in what's really happening. We watch the news, we see the numbers. We watch CNN, we see the numbers. Then we get a briefing that says we shouldn't believe the numbers. We're opening bars and we're opening restaurants, we're opening the movie theater. But what precautions are really being taken? I went to the removal of the Confederate statue in Rockdale yesterday. Half the people were wearing masks, the other half were not. And you could clearly tell what half were not. Listen, this is not about freedom of speech. It's not about freedom of choice. This is about a public health emergency. And if your politician is not willing to tell you the truth, you should rethink your party. Because we're all Americans. We're all Americans. And this is killing people regardless of political party. And it's hitting too close to home. So I wanted to go live because I don't really, it's a lot of emotion happening right now. A lot of my friends from Emory are in pain because again, he was one of the pillars of the Black Emory Alumni Association. He was one of the pillars of the legal community. And now we have to plan to lay him to rest. He was looking forward. He just won his election, looking forward to another term on the bench. We were supposed to be at an alumni event a few months ago that he had another event that he had to go to, so I didn't get to see him. I didn't realize that I wouldn't see him again. So this is real. And so for any of your friends or family who don't think it's real, go look at Newton County. Go look at the Alcovy Judicial Circuit with Walton and Newton County. There was an outbreak in the circuit. And we got to do better. We got to do better. And I mean, it's time to hold our elected officials accountable. The question is, if everything is safe in Georgia, if everything is safe, why is the governor's office not open? Why is the governor's mansion not open? Let's be real. Why was there an outbreak during that caused the legislature to have to bifurcate. They had to bifurcate. It was the longest legislative session in Georgia history, but we're not really talking about the reason why. The reason why is because we are seeing failure at the highest level of government. Let's just call it what it is. And I'm not just saying this because I'm a Democrat. I'm not just saying this because, I may have different political views. I'm saying this because I'm a Georgian and I love Georgia. And I don't want to see a Superior Court judge pass away from COVID because we're opening too soon. That's what's really happening right now. And there are countless other people that have passed away. We see these numbers, and I'm gonna go. Let's go to the numbers right now. Let's go to the Georgia numbers. So this is from the Department of Public Health. And again, I stopped giving these numbers because I really have confidence in them. We have 81,000 cases. Now, the last time I gave a report, I think we were at 40. We have 2,805 deaths, 11,000 hospitalizations, 2,323 ICU admissions. Again, we've tested 838,878 from the viral test, and the antibody test is 157,000. So that's barely a million. There are 10 million people in this state. 10 million people in this state. So we've tested 10%, but we're opening everything. We still say we only have 2,805. When I stopped reporting, we were at somewhere around 1,200. I'm sorry, but we need to do something about this. And we need to get real with our elected officials. Because every single state, every single county in Georgia has a case. Some of the counties have well over 5,000 to 8,000 cases. And here is the graph. They kept saying that, we were going down. We had flattened the curve. Does that look like the curve is flat in Georgia? Is the curve flat in Georgia? No, it's not flat. So when we're going to get serious, Judge Johnson wasn't medically infirmed, but now he's gone. And so we need to have a real conversation with our elected officials. Because how many more people have to die, get sick, because we're not being told the truth? Why don't we go back into the lockdown so we can get through this? There are other countries that are on the other side of the curve. There are countries that have dealt with this, and we're still in the first wave. What about the second wave that's coming? We were told that when it gets hot, it'll just magically go away. It's hot right now. It's not magically going away. It's time for us as Georgians to require more of our elected officials. We should at least require the truth, transparency, whatever you want to call it, accountability, facts, not coming up to a podium and giving us spin, because we've clearly seen it spin. The spin was, it's going to go away. We got this under control. Only the medically infirm will get sick. It's only some super spreaders in Southeast Georgia or the metro area. That was 2 months ago. We're in July with no sign of this ending. And now we're losing pillars of the community. So I just wanted to go live to thank Judge Johnson for his leadership, his mentorship, his insight in providing a next generation of lawyer, a next generation of scholar, a next generation of leader, and to say that this should never have happened. And so Even though the news is barely reporting this, we need to report this. We need to share this so the world knows that a great man has passed and it could have been avoidable. So my condolences go to his family. My condolences go to all my frat brothers, all the lawyers that have been affected and trained by Judge Johnson. But I can tell you this, there's going to be some accountability coming. So I love you guys. I don't know what else to say. I'm hurting, but some accountability coming. I'll talk to you later.